What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news. And before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. We're halfway to 179,000 subscribers, trying to hit 180K before 2026. So if you're not subscribed yet, greatly would appreciate it. And if you've already been subscribed, I appreciate you. Now, as for the highlights in this video, we do have a first look at the Air Jordan 14 Black and University Blue. As well, I think Jordan Brand lied. There's something that's been bothering me a little bit about the Air Jordan 11 Regional Pack. It's going to be good news for a lot of people, but potentially bad news for some people who bought them early, paid resale, or went to Complex Con specifically for this shoe. Now, other than that, we have a confirmed release date and time for the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 Low OG, and there's a lot more from Jordan Brand. Now, there is a little bit from Nike in this video, and we have one thing from Under Armour. You guys probably already know what that is, but with that being said, let's jump into the news. So I woke up today and saw this news blasted pretty much everywhere, and it surprised me. But Under Armour and Steph Curry agree to split. As you guys know, Steph Curry has the Curry brand, which is under the Under Armour umbrella. And I'm sure you saw this news going around quite a bit. Now, there was a press release put out. I do want to read some from the press release. Not everything because it's a bit long, but it does give us a bit more information, of course. But it reads, Under Armour Inc. and Stephen Curry today announced plans to separate Curry brand from Under Armour, ending a partnership that has redefined performance product and athlete-led storytelling for more than a decade. Under Armour, with a disciplined focus on its namesake brand, will develop new UA basketball products and continue to support athletes in programs across every level of the game. Under the separation, Curry will become independent of Under Armour. UA will release the Curry 13, the final Curry brand Under Armour shoe, in February 2026 as planned, with additional colorways and apparel collection available through October 2026. Launched in 2020 as an extension of Stephen Curry's longtime partnership with Under Armour, Curry brand has combined performance innovation with community investments, especially in youth sports and underfunded basketball programs, while serving as a global platform for both parties' on and off-court values. Through this partnership, Under Armour expanded its Project Rampart Youth Sports and Education initiative in Oakland and will continue to support those efforts. Under Armour believed in me early in my career and gave me the space to build something much bigger and more impactful than a shoe. I'll always be grateful for that, said Stephen Curry. Curry brand was created to change the game for good, and over the past 5 years, we successfully changed the game for kids, for communities, and for basketball. What Curry brand stands for, what I stand for, and my commitment to the mission will never change. It's only growing stronger. I'm excited for the future that's focused on aggressive growth with a continued commitment to keep showing up for the next generation. Now, as some of you may know, Curry brand actually signed De'Aaron Fox to a deal, and he's on his second signature shoe. Now, I saw a lot of clickbait stuff, saying he's going to Nike, he's going to Adidas. Now, I highly doubt that. I believe that Curry brand will just be an independent brand, kind of what the article says. I don't think another company is going to come in and swoop in and have it under their umbrella. Although anything is possible. Nike could come in, or Adidas, and do something like that. And then going forward, instead of the UA logo, we have the swoosh or the 3 stripes branding. I don't know. I think it's weird because anytime I think of Under Armour, I think of Curry. I don't think of The Rock or any other athletes that they have signed. Obviously, this has to do with money. I'm looking at Under Armour stock and it's dipping. It's going low. So this all has to do with money. They also put a press release out about a restructuring plan, and that's a whole separate press release in itself, and I'm not going to go into that just because it'll make this video much longer than it needs to be, especially this section. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about this split. Personally, I think it's really weird. Wale put out a very interesting video on his YouTube channel that shows off a collaboration on the Nike Air Max Goadome. Now, he does have a new album dropping today, Everything Is a Lot. I do believe it's available a bit early though. I'm looking at his website and you can get access now for $7.99. I'm honestly excited for this album. I'm definitely going to take some time out to listen to it. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people saying that these are going to release. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet, and I would put the video in, but 100% I would get a copyright strike from Wale's crew if I showcase the video in this one. But basically, just to explain the video and the sneakers, he's like in a warehouse and he's inspecting the shoes. He's putting names on the boxes, and those names are individuals who collaborated on songs on his album. Now, I will say the look is very, very clean. From the lighting, it looks like it comes in mostly black with some blue detailing. It also features a crescent moon graphic, a nod to Wale's Every Blue Moon label. It also features a small tag on the lateral side with EIA. That stands for Everything Is a Lot, his new album. And then the whole upper, it just looks premium. It has a reptile finish. I like the look of these. I've never owned a pair. I wouldn't mind if this was my first, but I don't know. I kind of think this might be a friends and family release. Again, I'm not 100% sure on that, especially with him putting names on the box. But yeah, like always, more information coming soon. We received a first look at the Kith Nike Air Max 95, known as Knicks. Now, this first look comes from Ronnie Feig, who was sitting courtside with Joe LaPuma at a recent Knicks game, and this game, they unveiled the 2025-2026 City Edition uniforms. So it was only right to have the pair on display, and the shoes feature an anthracite, dark gray, cool gray, stadium gray, team orange, and game royal colorway. So the overall blocking is a nod to the Knicks. Now the pair kind of has that gradient look that we all know for the Air Max 95 to have, but if you look closely on the panels, it has the Kith monogram layers, as well as mini swooshes throughout. Also on the heel, you'll notice that there's a checkerboard pattern, which is a tribute to the Knicks court that Ronnie designed. So back in 2022, Ronnie became the New York Knicks creative director. So not only does he get to design a ton of different stuff for the Knicks, but he also designed the court. Now tying it to the Knicks, we have orange and blue accents. Orange lands on the eyelets. It looks like it's hinted on the tongue. And then we have blue on the swoosh and placed within the Big Bubble Air Max unit. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a specific release date, but they are expected to drop this holiday season. And the retail price that's going around, I find it a bit random, but it's $162. That's a lot cheaper than the $190 that Air Max 95s traditionally go for, or $185, around that price point. But yeah, cheaper is always better, especially if you like them. Now, more than likely, when these do drop, they will be available via Kith, in-store, online, and on the app. No information if they'll be available on the Sneakers app just yet. You know what was weird with this release is that boutiques released them months, and I mean months back. Nothing recently, and it appeared that they sold out quite fast. But a couple days ago, they did pop up on the Sneakers app. It might have been yesterday. And we have a release date for the Nike Air Max 95 OG Black Border. Now, I do know some people were asking about the release date on these, and I thought they were done for. I thought since I saw them at like A Ma Maniere in different boutiques, they weren't going to be released again. But in North America, they are going to drop on the Sneakers app. Now, before I go over the release date, these are incredible in my opinion, and they feature a white, hyper jade, black, and metallic silver colorway. This is an OG colorway, originally dropped in 1996, part of the initial run of the Air Max 95, which started in 1995. What I always liked about the shoe is that instead of the gradient panels, we just have black and white. So it's something different. As well, the jade accents, really, really nice in my opinion. Now, it's probably not the best time to be wearing these since it's fall, about to be winter. Now, this is a pair I do plan on buying, but I'm going to hold off on wearing them until spring or even summer. But the pair will drop on November 26th, and the retail price will be $190. GOAT has officially unveiled the new Ducks of a Feather Nike Air Force One Low collaboration, which will consist of two colorways. Now, one pair is known as Egg or Duck, and the other is known as Duck or Egg. The pack will be released exclusively via GOAT to celebrate their annual Black Friday campaign. So the theme is tied to the Oregon Ducks, but is also a play off the question, which came first, the duck or the egg? So the first pair I'm going to go over is known as Egg or Duck, and the shoes feature a white, gorge green, and green spark colorway. So as you can see, this pair features white leather on the upper, along with speckled detailing throughout. And then the panel in the toe box, it has an iridescent finish which shifts colors in the light. It also has embroidered duck feet by the heel, dark green lands on the swoosh and the laces, and then on the inside of the tongue, we have a tag which reads, which came first. On the heels, we have duck and egg. On the insoles, it reads ducks of a feather. And then we have DOAF across the tongue, which stands for ducks of a feather. Also, the overall inspiration for this pair represents the egg and the adult duck. The green detailing is for a mallard's head. Now, the second pair, which is my favorite, is known as duck or egg. And this pair features a soft yellow, topaz gold, and bright ceramic colorway. This pair actually represents a baby duck. Now, this pair features yellow suede on the upper and fuzzy details, which is for a duckling. And instead of duck feet on the lateral side, we actually have a cracked egg. The other branding stays the same. It features a label on the inside of the tongue, which reads, which came first, duck and egg on the heels, and ducks of a feather on the insoles. Now, each pair comes with a hang tag of an egg and like a duck popping out of it. And I think I like the second pair the most is because the color blocking reminds me a lot of the SB Dunk High Lucky. You guys might remember that shoe, but very long time ago they released. Always liked that pair. Now, as for the release date, both will drop on November 27th exclusively at GOAT, and the retail price will be $200 each, which is a bit high for an Air Force One Low, but it's a lot less expensive compared to some of the previous Ducks of a Feather collaborations. Now, with every Ducks of a Feather release, proceeds from the sales of the shoes will benefit participating University of Oregon student athletes. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and official photos popped up of the Air Jordan 12 in pearl pink. Now, this will be a kids exclusive. And again, with certain shoes, they always look different depending on the lighting. But I will say that the shade of pink used on the upper isn't as dark as we initially saw. But also in the last set of photos that I shared, they're not as light because those images actually looked white, the upper and the mudguard. But here you can definitely tell it's like a pink hue. Now, this pair shouldn't be difficult to get your hands on, and they drop on November 21st. The retail price in grade school sizes is $155, preschool will cost $90, and toddler sizes will cost $75. Paolo Banchero was spotted wearing a PE version of the Air Jordan 4028. Now, this pair won't be released to the public, but as you know, there is an Air Jordan 4028 dropping in summer 2026, which comes dressed in a black and volt colorway. So the reason why I'm sharing these photos is just to confirm the shape of the shoes. As you can see, the upper is taken from the Air Jordan 28. Now the midsole is taken from the Air Jordan 40. As well, the toe overlay, that's from the 40 as well. Now this colorway is actually really nice, and it's tribute to the AAU team that he played for, the Seattle Rotary. I definitely wouldn't mind if this pair did drop. Now, I do know that there's another 4028 coming, aside from the black and volt pair. I was initially told it was a Ma Maniere PE, but it could also be a WNBA release because they're switching the names on them. So I'm not sure if they changed it being the Ma Maniere PE to just a WNBA drop. And I haven't officially leaked that information. I mean, I think I talked about it briefly, but I haven't done a mock-up or anything like that. So just wanted to show you the shape on the 4028 so everybody has a heads up what to expect on the black and volt pair. All right, so we have new photos of the Travis Scott Jordan Jumpman Jack in green spark. Now, this pair was first seen on the feet of Travis Scott in 2024 in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. At that time, it wasn't known that they were going to release, but earlier in the year, it did come out that the pair would drop in spring 2026. Now, a couple days ago, we did receive new photos, and the pair features a green spark, vapor green, and black colorway. You know, I actually like this pair. The color blocking, that is. Just because it's different from previous Jordan Jumpman Jack releases. Typically, the shoes are dressed in mocha shades and stuff like that. There was a couple vibrant pairs here and there, but this pair really pops and stands out to me. Now, aside from this colorway, I haven't heard of any additional Jordan Jumpman Jack releases for 2026. We do know that there's a handful of Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low OG collabs dropping, but so far this is the only confirmed pair to drop next year. But for the look, it features green throughout. We have a lighter shade of green on the swoosh. We have black on the toe box, the tongue, and the laces. And on the heels, we have the Cactus Jack smiley face. The outsoles feature green spark, and then we have Jack in a lighter shade of green. And then on the insoles, those will be special as well. It reads T-Rex and has the Jumpman branding, as well as other branding connected to Travis Scott. Now, as for a release date for this pair, unfortunately, we don't have one. But spring 2026 is when they're expected to drop, which means a release will take place between January and March, and the retail price will be $205. In the last video, I went over the A Ma Maniere Air Jordan 6 Smokey Mauve, also known as Built for This. Now, at that time, the EQL raffle was supposed to be live, but it wasn't, at least at the time of recording. As well, they didn't have a landing page on their website for the shoes. Typically, they give an explanation, the inspiration behind it. Sometimes it's shorter than others, but all of that is live now, so I did want to briefly go over that. As well, we do have some new photos. And what I will say with the new images, when I initially saw this shoe, I thought it was a straight Georgetown ripoff. And with these images, it doesn't look like that to me. The Smokey Mauve is definitely a different hue than we previously saw. That could also be due to the lighting of the photos, but here, these are clean. These are nice. Yes, I do wish A Ma Maniere made some shoes with different colorways, but overall, these are better than what I initially saw and we initially saw. So I'm going to read from A Ma Maniere, and this is chapter 1. Chapter 2 will be the A Ma Maniere Air Jordan 4 in dark mocha. But it reads, A Ma Maniere and Jordan Brand present Built for This, a story rooted in the resilience, earned celebration, and the perseverance it takes to rise. This narrative honors the unglamorous work, the unseen pressure, the discipline that shapes character, and the people who poured into us along the way. It's the celebration of those who endured, who built through adversity, and who arrived with grace and purpose. Inside, the chapter continues through original artwork by Jamie Holmes, featured on the interior of the shoebox. The piece, titled Malcolm, captures a young man attending one of Malcolm X's speeches to the black Muslims. His expression caught between exhaustion and hope. Through that gaze, Holmes explores the power of transformation, how a single voice can offer vision, courage, and the possibility of change. Releasing alongside the footwear, the Jordan A Ma Maniere capsule presents essential forms. The knit polo, which will retail at $120 from sizes extra small to 2X, offers a refined take on sport heritage. The track jacket, which retails for $300 and starts at size extra small and goes up to 2X, introduces structure with a smooth monogram lined interior, and the matching track pant, which will retail at $200, starts at size extra small and goes up to 2X, brings ease and polish into one silhouette. Each piece sits in conversation with the shoe. It also says that please allow 5 to 10 days for domestic shipping and 10 to 15 days for international shipping. So the EQL raffle is now live. And just to give you heads up on the release info, they officially drop on November 21st at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on amamaniere.com and via in-store raffles. The EQL draw is now open and will run until November 17th. The retail price is $225. As for the size range, it starts at 3.5 in men, which is a 5 in women's, and goes up to a size 15 in men, but only goes up to a size 14 in women. So the bigger sizes, I'm guessing the shape is more for men, because the women's size 14 cuts off at 12.5 men, so 13, 14, and 15, it's just labeled men's. But let me know your thoughts on this pair down below. Alright, so we have a confirmed release date for the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 Low OG in military blue. Now, there was a lot of speculation about when these were going to be released, and this is for the Travis Scott website. I saw a lot of random days and times on the internet, and I was told that they were going to drop on Wednesday, but I didn't say anything because, things change a lot, especially with these types of releases, but the website actually gives us a well in advance release date. So the pair will drop on November 15th, so this Saturday. It will be a raffle, and it'll start at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, all the stuff that's circulating about this release has really turned me off to the shoes. In one of the previous videos, I talked about how somebody within Travis Scott's camp is backdooring a lot of pairs. Enough pairs to drastically cut down the stock that will be available to the public. And then a lot of people who do sneaker reviews, they'll get pairs in early. Turns out their pairs are fake, at least according to GOAT and StockX. I'm not sure if I 100% buy it. Nothing against them, but it's just weird that how do they know a shoe's fake before it releases? Yes, I know StockX and GOAT have their ways of getting their hands on sneakers, but who's to say which is real, which is fake? Also, these check apps, I'll never trust them, the legit check apps that is, because I have screenshots of check app authenticating the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4 brick by brick in black, and we know that pair never released. So at this point in time, the only way I would trust it is if you get it straight from Travis Scott's website. Now, there's another thing about this release that I'm hearing, although I can't confirm it, is that the retail price will be $200. That's insane if it's true. Again, I can't confirm it. I've asked some people, they're saying they don't know. The retail price is supposed to be $155. I do see product pages on the back end of Nike, and it literally says the price is $155 USD. On a side note, there is no stock showing for the sneakers app. It has been completely wiped. And then on the website, of course, it says TravisScott.com exclusive. So, but if it's true about this $200 retail price, that's kind of scummy in my opinion. You're raising it $45. Yes, I know it's MSRP, manufacturer suggested retail price. It's a suggestion, but if $200 is true, oh man. Sure, if your only intent is to resell these, then grabbing them for $200, you'll still make a ton of money off of them. But for those who just want to buy them, have them in their collection, to wear them, yeah, I'm not really a fan of that. But hopefully for those who actually want them, are able to get them. This is definitely not going to be an easy release to get. And of course, if you really want them, wait to buy them on resale if that's the route you're going. I don't suggest it just because of the amount of fakes going around, but the price will eventually come down. One of the first bigger releases from Jordan Brand starting 2026 is the return of the Air Jordan 5 Wolf Gray. Now, new images did pop up giving us a better look, and with these photos, I see a lot of people talking about the wrinkles on this pair, and I'll be honest, I have no idea why Jordan Brand decided to go this route. As most of you know, the original pair featured a smooth nubuck on the upper. Now, in these photos, it looks like it's leather, and it's not a traditional tumble leather. There's just a lot of wrinkles and creases. Now, maybe the process of this leather is different, and that's why we're having it this way. Personally, I really don't like the look. Sure, the materials might be nicer. I say might, I don't know, I don't have them in hand. But I don't know, I've been seeing a lot of people complain about it, and I just wanted to gauge your guys' opinion. Do you like this look? Again, I wish they were more like the 2011 release. But for what I do like about the pair, well, two things. One, the updated shape, of course, and two, the number 23 font. That reflects the original 23 font. I think it looks a lot nicer. I do like the icy blue translucent outsole. I think it looks really clean on this shoe. I don't want to just be 100% negative about this pair, but I do want to call out certain things, and I do wonder why they chose to go this route on them, because this is not a reimagined pair. It just appears that Jordan Brand decided to do something a bit different. But as for the release info, this pair is scheduled to drop on January 10th, and the retail price will be $220. I'm starting to think Jordan Brand played a lot of people, at least for those who attended Complex Con, anticipating the release of the shoe, or the three shoes, and this is the Air Jordan 11 regional pack. We have the Las Vegas pair known as Mojave, the Houston pair known as H-Town, and the Atlanta pair known as 285. Now, this is supposed to be a regional release. Each pair was supposed to release at stores in their respective city. However, that doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Now, this is a good thing for those who really like the shoes, because it appears that your chance of purchasing will be a bit higher. But for those who paid resale because you live outside of these areas, or you travel to Complex Con to have your chance to pick up a pair, then yeah, this is kind of a letdown. But DTLR has product pages for all three pairs. Now, doing a little bit of digging, I didn't see that DTLR has any stores in Nevada, nor Las Vegas, or even on the West Coast. So if they wanted to make an argument for East Coast stores getting the Atlanta pair, sure. Now, I know Texas is the South. I mean, Atlanta is technically the South, but Atlanta is also East Coast. Texas is West Coast. So even them getting the Houston pair might be a bit weird. Now, that isn't the only retailer. Chic Shoes posted product pages for 2 pairs. Now, they have since taken them down, but I did grab screenshots before it was removed. They actually dropped them early and people were refunded, though. Now, the 2 pairs that they have listed is the Mojave and the H-Town. Now, I will say Chic Shoes makes a little bit more sense that they're getting these 2 pairs. Chic Shoes does have a location in Texas. I believe it's in Houston. And they also have, it looks like a couple locations in Las Vegas or around Las Vegas. So again, them getting the pairs makes a little more sense. But I have another screenshot here. This is from the press release that Jordan Brand and Nike put out about the pack. And as you could see at the very bottom, it reads, retail date November 22nd, exclusively in-store at select regional retail partner locations in North America. So although it seems like I'm complaining, I'm more so upset about the people who traveled to Complex Con or people who bought at resale because they're giving this false illusion that these are going to be super limited. They're only going to be available at select regional retail partner locations. And only available in store, not online. So the fact that they have product pages available to purchase online when the release date does come just tells me that sometimes the brand says publicly what we want to hear and not the actual truth. For example, somebody hit me up at Jordan Brand about 4 or 5 months ago, was pretty aggressive in my DMs, talking about the Air Jordan 4 Rare Air. I talked about the amount of pairs that are expected to have gold lettering and so forth. Basically told me I was cap, all this, all that. And instead of having like a civil back and forth conversation, it was kind of hostile. But basically the number was a lot lower that was publicly said than I initially put out. But there's no way that number could be true. It was like 2%. I put out 25%, which the amount of pairs with gold lettering does seem more towards 25% versus 2%. But there's no way we would actually know this unless we got every single pair of the Air Jordan 4 Rare Air and then put in a section the gold ones and then the regular ones on the other side. So there's no way for me to prove it. There's no way for them to prove it. But that's just a side note. It's just me explaining that. It's just more of a way just to say that, yes, there's a lot of fake information online. A lot of it is from sneaker pages, but sometimes it's from the brands, or maybe it's not 100% fake, but they're trying to steer you in a different narrative. But on a side note, if you like all 3 of these, you haven't bought at resale, you haven't traveled to Complex Con, this does give you a bit of a better shot. Now, aside from Chic Shoes and DTLR, I haven't seen other retailers with them yet. I've been looking at Shoe Palace because they're kind of a store that would traditionally get this kind of stuff, especially if Chic is. But on their release calendar, I haven't seen anything. Maybe they're abiding by the rules and going to drop them in store. So maybe in a couple days, they'll post something on their IG. I believe stores aren't allowed to publicly say anything about the release until 7 days prior to the release. I don't know if that's changed, but that's how it was. But I will say it does appear that I and a lot of you guys will have a better shot at getting the pair you want. I definitely want the Mojave pair. That's just a clean shoe. Also, another thing, the retail price has gone up. Actually, let me take that back. Chic has both pairs retailing for $235, but DTLR only has the Mojave pair retailing at $235. But the other 2 pairs on DTLR will cost $255. I believe the real retail price will be $255, so it will go up $5. They're also dropping in grade school sizes, which makes the availability a little bit bigger, which is a good thing. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the price on them, even though DTLR has product pages for the grade school pair, and that's because it's showing at $255. There's no way the grade school pair is going to cost $255 and the adult pair will cost $255. I said this before and I'm going to say it again. Whoever runs the DTLR release calendar, man, either they're not into sneakers, they don't know much, or they're doing multiple things at once while editing the release page, because a lot of stuff in the past has been wrong. There's been shoes that have been scrapped they're posting the release date for, and I mean, it's like 2 weeks before the drop, seeing these being posted on the release calendar. So if anybody at DTLR is listening, I'm definitely happy to help out. Now, as for the release date for all three, they're scheduled to drop on November 22nd. Now, at the time of recording, there has been nothing on the Sneakers app, no talk about the Sneakers app. I would have thought that they wouldn't drop on the Sneakers app because of the whole regional release and being in-store only. Now, they do have product pages on the back end. It's showing that the H-Town pair will retail at $235. It's also showing stock, but low stock. Same deal with the MOJAVE pair, but this one's even lower stock. Retail price is said to be $235, although saying $255. I don't know. This whole release has just been kind of a mess, too. The H-Town pair looks to be about the same amount of stock as the Atlanta, but also saying the retail price is $235. So I wouldn't hold my breath still about a sneakers drop. I definitely will update you once it's confirmed to be or not. But yeah, sorry about this section being a bit long. There was some stuff I wanted to cover. I have a whole conspiracy theory with the whole regional pack and the Complex Con release, but I'm not going to get into that publicly. But maybe one day I will. Unfortunately, it won't be today. I've been seeing a lot of stuff unfold, and I have some indifferent opinions. But shout out to those people at Complex. And for all three of these pairs, let me know if you plan on picking 1, 2, or 3 up, or none. So I wanted to end this video off on a good note, and I'm going to present you this beautiful piece of sneaker artwork here. And this is a first look at the Air Jordan 14 Black and University Blue. As you could tell, I'm excited about this release, and I'm happy we finally got to see a first look. I was able to see them about maybe 3 weeks ago. Was super excited. I wish I could have shared it with you guys, but unfortunately I was told not to. But these photos aren't the best, but it does its purpose. It shows us what is coming, and this is at least a double up for me. If you're new to the channel, I'm a big fan of the Jordan 14. Matter of fact, it's my favorite silhouette from Jordan brand. Some people call me crazy for it, but it's the first pair of Air Jordans that I actually owned. I was in middle school. I bought them with my own money, raked a lot of lawns, mowed a lot of lawns, washed cars, and was able to get a few pairs. So this pair is not an OG, but they first dropped in 2006. So the release will celebrate the 20th anniversary. Also, this shoe was part of the Lifestyle series from Jordan brand. Now, the Lifestyle series, what they did was they dropped matching apparel alongside the sneakers. They were kind of limited, not super limited like today's standard would be when you hear limited, but they weren't available at just any retailer. Now, I do own this pair. I bought it maybe 5-6 years ago. I bought it, I paid $400. I'm not going to lie. It was a Father's Day gift, so technically I didn't pay $400, but I'm just happy that they are returning because honestly, I don't want to wear my 2006 pair. I think they would separate, and that's why I'm doubling up on these. I'm going to wear one right away and then put one in my 14 collection because that's what I try to do. I try to get 2 pairs of the 14 so I can wear one and then put one in my collection. One of these days, I'll have to do another video just devoted to my 14 collection. I did one back in the day, but that was more so OGs and PEs that I owned. But I'll have to do an update collection sometime soon. Well, not too soon, maybe in 2026. But for this pair, we do have a release date, and they're currently scheduled to drop on March 21st, and the retail price will be $215. Now, it also looks like they're going to drop in grade school sizes, and the retail price will be $155. Let me know your thoughts on this pair down below. You guys already know mine, so let me know yours down below. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, I believe I'm only going to drop one video next week, and it's going to be the 2026 Air Jordan release dates ultimate guide video. As you guys know, each year I do this long video, and I'm going to be working on it over the weekend, and more than likely it's going to drop in the middle of the week. Now, there's a small, and I mean a small chance I could drop another news video on Monday or Tuesday. I'll do that if there is enough news, but I really want to be devoted to this video because I do know there's a lot of people who look forward to it. But for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave those down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.